Oh my God. What? No way. What? Bro, I'm switching right now. I'm switching right now. Or should I?
Take it easy. You gotta take it easy. You gotta take it easy with Khloé.
Let's talk about ClickUp. Today's episode is going to be my week with ClickUp, how I used it, and what I recommended, and is it taking over Trello? You will soon find out. ClickUp claims to be the one app to replace them all your work in one place, your tasks, your docs, your chat, goals, and more. But is this true? This is exactly what we'll be diving into today. So let's get started.
Oh, hey there. I'm Zeb Evans, CEO of Clickup. I typically don't have time to build ships and bottles, but our product is so damn good, I saved an entire day this week, and I want to help you do the same. We built Clickup with the mission of making the world more productive and giving people back more time. We were frustrated that there was no single workspace tool that could do everything. ClickUp is the only work platform that replaces all productivity software across all departments and enables collaboration with one single application for tasks, docs, chat, goals, and team management. ClickUp frees every type of team from one to thousands from inefficiency and wasted time, and it's totally customizable. Now go see it for yourself. I've got some more time to kill.
Welcome to Clickup. To get the most out of your onboarding experience, we're going to keep this light, quick, and simple. The entire Clickup platform is organized into a hierarchy, so you can break down your work into easy-to-manage groups. The components of the hierarchy, from top to bottom, are workspaces, spaces, and lists. Think of the workspace like your office building. Everything about work happens in the building. Unless, of course, you work from home. Then maybe the workspace is more like your most prized bathrobe and roller chair. But we're getting off track. Within workspaces, there are spaces. Spaces are for high-level categorizations, like specific teams, departments, or types of work. At the space level, you can turn on and off features you use or don't use to keep things simple. Within spaces, your work can be broken down further into lists. Lists are designed to group together related tasks, and if you want to group together related lists, you can put them in folders. Here's an example. Let's say you're a marketer. In your company's larger workspace, your marketing team could have their own space, specifically for everything related to marketing. Within this space, you could create lists of tasks for any project you need to work on. And just like that, your marketing team is organized.
So, ClickUp has rudely sent me an email. Well, it's not rude, but what? What do you mean? Goodbye, Trello. Never that. Hell nah. But anyway, my Trello import is now complete. So I'm going to go back to my dashboard for my Trello board, and this is how they have it set up. So in Trello, we all know that it's mostly boards, which is what I like about Trello. So I can either have this in board view to look exactly how it does on my Trello board, which if I'm going to have it look like Trello, then I'll use Trello. I mean, come on. That's how I feel. Doesn't mean that that's what you should think or do, but ClickUp does have a list form, which is a lot like Notion. I feel like this looks very similar to the way Notion is set up. I don't know which one came first, the chicken or the egg, so I can't comment on that. And then of course they have the calendar view, which anything that has a date on it from my Trello board will appear here. And then a timeline, which I think is super unique. I don't exactly know how this is used. I haven't really watched the videos, but if I get more info and insight on that, I will let you know at the end of this when I do the final thoughts. And then here's, I guess, the activity of everything that has been completed so far. And then I clicked on this mind map thing feature that ClickUp does have, and I don't know what it is either, but it does say that it's a visual representation of existing folders, lists, and tasks. Or explore any idea and create tasks from any node. So choose a structure that's right for you, and they kind of map it out. This reminds me a lot of Milanote, where I can kind of map things out, except this one does it for you, but the other one you're kind of doing it yourself and creating like these different boards. Why I want to start this video off with the intro, just the basics. I'm learning just as much as you are, and I'm going to, just like you are as well, I'm going to go ahead and play with this. So this looks like Notion to me, where it's the table where it tells you what the task name is, who you assign it to, if anyone, what status is on, the due date, priority, and then you can add additional columns if you need over here. So we're going to go back to the list form here. So like I said, this is my board, and these are my different lists within those boards. So I do have a giveaways promo list, a resources. I have my Canva templates that I need to create, my Instagram posts, courses, articles, ideas, my to-do list, test and launch strategy before you launch check. Now, I don't know why this was categorized this way. Giveaways is literally like the last board list in the board. Notice I start with before you launch and then move on to giveaways being the last one. And then this is a ClickUp feature, I'm assuming, because I've never seen that. And this one up here is the ClickUp feature. So again, going back to my list, not sure why this is in this particular order. So I'll have to play with that to get mine before you launch to the top, because that makes more sense to me, because that's the beginning steps of this particular project. So let's just go into the resources. So I'm going to go into this quick one here, and in here it has my title, just like my card in Trello. You can track your time, and then under here you can add different subtasks. And then here I would just include tasks like research questions, create form, add PDF to membership club. I mean, these are all ideas. Like I said, this is not my real task. I wouldn't do it here. But if ClickUp is amazing, there might be a switch. There might be a switch from Trello. I don't know. But what I am going to do is I'm going to use both of them and see how this works for me. So for now, this seems pretty cool. So here you can go ahead and add your attachment, and you can add from anywhere that you might have it. Let's see how this time tracker works. So the time tracker, if you're working on a task, I guess on a particular to-do, you can go ahead and time yourself. So if you only want to do this for 30 minutes, you can go ahead and do it right here. I personally just use my little timer, my external timer, but that's a pretty cool feature. You can, just like Trello, you can convert to a subtask, you can convert to a list, you can duplicate, you can create custom fields, and there's a template center for different things. And then here's the sharing and permission as well. And I want to put a due date on here. Due date. Let's say I want to do this by the 26th. Due date 26 at 11 a.m. So I'm going to close that. Okay. So now I've added a due date to that. I have a board. Now let's go back to home and see what's in there. So trending is that one task that I had put in the dates for, and it shows up on my dashboard. So I guess this is where all of your info goes. Everything collected from across the board. Now let's go into this one and just add something random. Let's do video. Because not mail video. This is not that type of show. Let's do the due date on the 20th. Let's do it on the 18th. Just because. That was due 2 days ago. So let's go back to the home and see where that shows up. So these are the trending things, meaning everything that I've touched so far. And then down here, you can tell there's something overdue, girl. So it's kind of like your dashboard. What's coming up, what you need to do, what's overdue, what do you have comments on you need to answer. So so far I am liking this. And then here I guess we have the calendar that you can change the view on. I want to see if and it'll show what today is and what tasks we have for today. So what I want to do with that, let's go ahead and go into back to spaces where I had like random stuff and I don't even know what this is. So let's do create PowerPoint. I'm just making anything up now. And I'm actually going to do that for today. So let's do that today because I want to see where this shows up. Today at 9:30 a.m. I'm going to close that. Now we're going to back to our home. And since this is our calendar, this should show up here for 9:30 a.m. So that's going to show up today because that's due today. So again, I see everything that's either due today on the day of or it's overdue, which is I have my overdue task here. And then as you know, these are two tasks that I made in the spaces. Now this that's supposed to be due today that's in progress should show up on my calendar and we have it here. Create PowerPoint at 9:30 a.m. So it's literally like your task and calendar all in one for you to see, which hello Trello. This is amazing. I know, right? I'm so shocked and like dumbfounded. Like, I love Trello. I don't think I'm gonna be leaving it, but I don't know. I might keep certain projects in here. I am loving it so far. So I am going to continue to work on it for the whole week. And I will just come back to you. Obviously, it's going to speed past this whole section and I'm going to get to you. If I find anything interesting or anything different here that I didn't notice before, I am going to record it, of course, but I am going to come back to you guys with my final thoughts, if I recommend it and all of that good stuff. So just stay tuned. So in the middle of recording this, I started working on the roof outside. So if you hear just a bit of noise, ignore that. So this section, I wanted to talk about the dashboard. So this is your dashboard, as I mentioned earlier. And what this does is shows you everything that you have coming up, scheduled, or what's important to you. So this first section called the lineup, you're going to add your most important tasks here. What it'll do, it'll search for the task or subtask name, ID, or URL, which is pretty cool. You just look for what your important thing that you want to get up here is, and you add it to it. So I want to do freebie templates is going to be my main lineup. So I can quickly click this and it takes me to the task itself. And then it also has an unscheduled down here. So everything that I haven't scheduled would be down here. Of course, something that is coming up next is going to be here. Anything that's due today is going to be under here and overdue would be under here. So we would check it off if we're already done, or set a new date, or assign it to somebody else, or just delete it altogether. Again, over here, this is your calendar view. So if you want your calendar, this is what you have today. This is what you scheduled for today at 9:30 a.m. So everything's going to be here. So again, this is like your dashboard. It's pretty much like a planner, like that main page, like your Google Calendar plus tasks plus project plus like everything else all in one. Easy for you to see and get to and know what you have to work with. So if you open this up on your everyday work basis, you get here, you log in, you'll see everything that you have to do on that day. And I think that's pretty cool of it. Again, it acts almost like, instead of like using my Trello and my Google Calendar, this kind of like does it for me at once. However, in my Google Calendar per se, I keep personal stuff too. And I wouldn't necessarily use ClickUp for anything personal. So that's the only thing with that. Like, I wouldn't put my regular task on here, my dentist appointment, my son's school stuff. I leave that in my Google Calendar. But as far as work-related tasks and work-related projects, business, whatever it is that you need to do, to have such a place like this to house all of your information in one and kind of log in and see everything that you have coming up for the day, or even the week, or if you logged on and something's overdue, you can see it right away. I think that's super unique and super. Automating on ClickUp is pretty easy. So you just, wherever you are, whatever space you're working on, you just click at the top bar where it says automate and click on add automation. Now, this works just a lot like Trello as well, or should I say, when something happens, then do this action. So I'm going to just show you a quick example. So if I were to create a due date change, so if a due date changes, then you can create any one of these things. So you can change the assignees, you could create a task, create a subtask, apply a template, add a comment, delete task, track time, whatever it is that you want. So that's pretty much, it's super simple. Like, this is the simplest of automations that I've seen. It's just when, then do this. And it's perfect for beginners because it's just that simple. It's pick one of these actions, priority changes, then tell it what to do next. So when the priority changes, then go ahead and do this. It's that simple. It's nothing out of this world. And I did do one on membership just to kind of try it out. The things that I have coming up should have gotten an automation. I just made a quick comment just to test this out. So the automation that I added was when something is past due, then add a comment. So I just put, bro, this is kind of cool, just to test it out again. And I can always go back into my spaces. I can go into my interior design toolkit, which is what I was working on before. I can check my automations and test them out from there. And in the ClickUp home, it does give you notifications of when everything that went out. So you can clear them. Obviously, you can click this bell when you're done with this notification. So I'm kind of done. So we can clear all of these out. So all your notifications and all your automations will come up here. If something's due, it'll come up here. And of course, it's always going to show up whatever's next overdue on your dashboard, which again is one of my favorite things of the ClickUp application, is this dashboard where everything is here. Here's obviously the inbox 0, your overdue, and your next, and anything that's been unscheduled. I have 196 because a lot of these things I haven't scheduled. So that's from my 30 days of reels, which I have actually going to work on for the month of November to continue to test ClickUp. I have actually imported my task for my 30 days of reels in here. And so the numbers correspond to the day of the week. So I'm going to do a reel for every single day. And then in here, what I've done is actually put the label in. So this is going to be PSA Wednesdays. Then I have all of my subtasks. So these are my subtasks for this reel. And then I'll add any other like descriptions for me that help me remember what this is, or even like the little script if I want to here. And then as I go along, I'll just go ahead and check these off until it's done. And then, of course, I can add a due date to each one of these tasks. So this particular one, if I wanted to start recording that on the 31st, then it'll add a due date to the actual subtask. So that's pretty cool as well. Trello does this as well, but that's something I always look forward to, because even though you have a bigger task, I like to break them up into mini tasks so that I know what that one task entails. Because this is not just this reel execute the plan, throw away the plan. It's recording it. I have to edit. I recorded it already, so that's why I checked that off. I have to edit. I have to save it as draft. I have to upload to socials. I have to add the captions, add the hashtag, choose date, add on video caption if I want to, like something on the actual video, create cover image. So all these little steps I have to do just to do this and just to have this published onto Reel. So I really do like that. Every task that you create, you have what is called a time tracker. If you want to track how long it took you to do this, that's up to you. Go ahead and do that as well. I just want to show you one last thing. So within ClickUp docs section on your left-hand side here, and what you can do is you can add any docs that you want to add, and it looks a lot like Notion, where you're adding the tasks, you adding the relationship, adding icon, the cover settings, and all of that. And you can kind of add your own documents from your desktop. So you just look for an HTML, PDF, or even a Markdown. Now, at the bottom of your dashboard is a plus task. You can add a quick task from here instead of going into your spaces. And then you can select the list that you want it under. Just like a quick little task. And you can add your subtask. You can even drag an attachment in here as well. You can flag it. You can set the dates. You can do everything on here. You just have to hit the little plus button at the bottom, which I find pretty nifty. And the last thing I'm going to show you, you can actually create forms right in here that you can send out to your potential clients. So I'm going to show you really quick what that looks like. Okay, so when you go into your spaces, whatever your workspace is, at the top, you're going to have all of these different options. You want to view this obviously in list form, in board form, etc. Now, this club survey is something that you can do. So you can click on where it says view. You can add a form here. You can also embed something in here as well. So you can add a form. So up here, once you've added a form, you're going to go down here. You're going to click add a form, and it's going to say add view. So, and it just tells you streamline your intake process by adding a form view to quickly gather, organize, and collect data. And so I've already added one. I did a mock-up of what I would send to the club. This is me looking at what that is. This is where you would go edit. You would drag and drop these things here on the side. So if you wanted to do a due date, if you wanted to attach something to this, if you wanted to do the cost, like these are fields that you have available to you that you can add to your form. And once you have your form, then you're able to actually copy the link for the form and send it out to, again, your potential clients, embed it into your email newsletter, whatever it is that you want, or have it as your contact form if people want to contact you, whatever you need a form for, basically. And then here obviously is how you change just the colors, but you do have to upgrade to customize these forms and add more things to it, like colors and things like that. You would have to upgrade to the business pricing for $9 a month. So if that's something that you really want to do and have everything kind of in one shot, again, within your ClickUp, then I would suggest it if you don't already have like a form on your website, because some people don't have like a full website where they can create forms within their website. So this is a good option as well if you wanted to do that. And because it's all linked to your workspaces and all your tasks that you have to do, it's a really good investment. So this is the moment you've been waiting for, my final thoughts and review on ClickUp. So, did it give what it needed to give? It actually did, and very surprisingly so. One of the features that I liked the most, I know you've heard it throughout the whole video, was how you can have this dashboard of what you have coming up next, what's overdue, what's past due, what you've given major importance to, or what you want to focus on. You know how people have like their top 3? So I think in that way, in that view, the whole dashboard space was like your calendar was pretty cool. Like I really like that aspect of it. I don't think I've ever used it in Trello, although Trello has something a little similar. That's one of the things that I would give to ClickUp over Trello. Now, ClickUp is a mashup of Trello, Notion, and maybe some other platform that I haven't yet discovered, probably Asana. Yeah, the list view would be Asana. So it's like all 3 of these platforms mixed into one, which is why they can claim that they're the one app to do all of these things. They don't have a proper CRM. I didn't see any like forms, like kind of like the Sado and Honeybook, where you kind of handle your client projects in that way, or a client journey management tool. But other than that, it was pretty cool. I like the form aspect until I saw you had to pay for it. Now, I don't mind paying for stuff, but there's certain things like that, like it's just a basic form. Like they should at least be able to give you just a basic form. You can include different pieces of information, and for the most part they did. They gave you like a very basic form, but the way it was laid out, I wasn't feeling the layout of it. I couldn't really add any of the pieces that I needed to add. I couldn't add a text box. Like I literally had to pick from those fields, and that was it. To where when I do mine on my Squarespace website, I can literally add whatever I want to the form, and it's included as part of your Squarespace website. So for me personally, I wouldn't do that. Now, do I recommend it? Yes. I recommend it to anyone that doesn't already use Trello, Notion, Asana, any one of those programs. To make the switch to ClickUp, it's not a big deal. So you're going from, oranges to mandarins, or mandarins to oranges, bigger, whatever, you know what I mean. So it's not a big change. You're not wowing me with what you can do. Automation is the same as Trello. We have your Notion databases in relations to like Notion. If what you want is for one thing to do it all, so you don't have to use Trello, you don't have to use Notion or Asana, and you can just use one, I would suggest it. I definitely recommend it if you want to streamline it. But if you don't mind having like all of my entire content planning, and I've shown it so many times on this channel, all of that lives in Trello. For Notion, I have like a database kind of format to it, right? So I have my home management system and my kind of personal database of the books I'm reading and when I read it and things like that. So I do like that aspect of Notion. So that being had said, I am going to give ClickUp one more month. I have a 30-day Reels challenge that I want to do for November. Reels are fun. Obviously they're 15 seconds or less, and it's easy for me to create that content, and so I wanted to map it out in ClickUp. So I'm going to give it another month. I'm going to use ClickUp for anything Reels related for this month of content. And if it works for me as far as like doing all the things that I wanted to do, and maybe even start inputting the databases that I have in Notion, who knows, I'm going to do a wrap up of this video at the end of November and tell you if I'm making the switch. So right now I can't really tell you if I'm gonna make the switch, but I'm gonna tell you then, because then I'll really know, because 1 week wasn't enough to give me what I needed to give me as far as like if I'm gonna actually make the switch. But I'm gonna check back with you in a month basically. So with that being said, it's a great application. You saw the videos, you saw the talking, so I'm not going to talk too much about it. I will say that if you have another application, I'm going to do these videos every other Tuesday, where I test out whatever you want me to test out. I'm going to test it out for you. So basically I'm testing the apps so you don't have to. And I'll walk you through it. I'll walk you through the login, show you the little videos. It's going to be a collective research video for you for whatever you decide you want me to touch on. And I think I'm gonna do, I forgot what it was, but I think I'm gonna do whatever that thing is when I get it. I think I'm gonna do that next. But if you enjoyed this video, if you enjoyed this format, if you enjoyed this new series that I've created, please give me a thumbs up. It definitely helps my channels, you know, the algorithm and all that. And to support my work, to support me in any way, please follow me, of course, on my Instagram. And please, if you want and can, buy me a coffee. I'll always link it down below. Let me know your comments, your thoughts on ClickUp, and let me know down below, would you use it or have you used it, and has it replaced whatever other project management, even paper, has it replaced your paper? Let me know down below, and I'll see you again next Tuesday for another video.